everybody. Today from Chris's desk, it's story time again. That's right. Today's a story about a general manager that took 3 hotels from average scores, not bottom, average, to torchbearer status. How do you go from good to great? And I had to ask this, and it's not my story, just by the way. This is somebody else's story that I stole. And I'll tell you a little story about him. But his name is Randy, and he was at a hotel in Oklahoma that I worked with. So Randy worked at these 3 hotels: Veneta, Tahlequah, and Catoosa in Oklahoma. He took all 3 of them straight to the top of, remember what we used to have a thing called the Geo Group? He took them from like 12 to 1, 8 to 1. And the last one he took 16, the bottom of the Geo Group, to number 1. And so finally I had to sit down with him and say, Randy, you got to tell me, how did you do that? I got to take you to lunch and you're going to share with me your secrets. Because you pretty much have, you're the only difference at this property. The only thing that I see changed is you. You're here, and now there's a difference. Well, he told me that he started off in construction. That his first days was when he worked as a framer in construction, but he hurt his back. He was banging away and he was lifting something up. He couldn't do it anymore, so he got a job as a night auditor. Then he got a job as a front desk clerk and a night front desk manager and a general manager, where I met him. And he learned everything, how to manage people, how to do everything from his days in construction, banging away at nails. So what he told me was that there are times that when you're hitting out the nail and it bends, and you notice there's a bent nail. Now you can spend your whole day trying to straighten out that nail. I'll do my best, Randy. You can spend your whole day trying to straighten out that nail. I know that's bad. And or you can just go find yourself a new nail. And so what he told me was, you just replaced a few bent nails around here like it was nothing. And so obviously that's easier said than done. But he found that he always had maybe 1 or 2 people at every hotel that he would come in to take over that had a bent nail. Somebody who really didn't fit in the position that they were in. And you guys, I've seen this so many times, working across the United States at many hotels, from my time at IHG, from Choice Hotels to Best Western. I've traveled to 49 states. I've only missed 1. And I've seen that a lot of times when you're trying to fix the problem, it comes down to, well, there's this one person we have who's been here forever at the front desk and he's just not that friendly. Or I have this breakfast attendant and she's great at cleaning up and she's great at putting things out, but she's just not that friendly. Now I know it's hard to find new staff. New staff is difficult. Retaining staff, keeping good staff is just as difficult. It's make sure that you're doing everything you can to reward your staff for doing a good job, to pat them on the back, to say thank you for giving us all these 10s, because even the hotels at the bottom with the lowest scores, they still get 10s. And a low score is 64 or 5%. That means 64 or 5% of your people loved your hotel. But those bad staff, they're going to hurt you more. They're going to hurt you. They're going to keep bringing you down. So think about looking around the property and saying, is there anybody here that's a bent nail? Who's holding me back from torchbearer status? Is there anybody here that just never got it? Okay? And then if you've done everything you can, it might be time to redirect their career into someplace else. And honestly, they might be happy for it. Maybe they're not happy with what they're doing. Maybe they're not happy in the position that they're at. So have a talk with them and find out what is going on, because you need to move them up or out. But you can't spend all day trying to straighten them out, because maybe you never do. So surround yourself with the best staff that you can, because one bad apple really can spoil the whole bunch. And I know it's cliche, but it is so true, and you've seen it before. So I'm going to leave you with one more thing, something else today. It's just two stories today. This story is from a person from France who was my owner, and when I was a general manager. He taught me really important thing, that when you hire somebody and you train that person, and of course you take care of them, make sure that they're doing their job, and for some reason, your person gets fired, who is to blame? That's what he asked me. And he said, it's your fault. It's your fault if they do not meet the expectations that you brought into this position. So that made me think of every single person. When I was a new GM, every single person I hired, I thought, I better take a little extra time to find the right person, because if I have to let them go down the road, I can't blame them. I have to blame me. And I have to do everything I can, use all the training, resources, and help that I have to help them to become the great person in that position that I've hired them for. Because if they don't, it's on me. So think about that just replacing bent nails is a good idea. But when you do replace somebody who you hired, that's your failure, not theirs. Okay, I just want to leave you with that. And that sounds kind of negative, I guess, but I really do want to share this story because actually people tell me it's something that resonates with them, something that they think, oh yeah, and they just, a light bulb goes off. Maybe your light bulb's going off right now and saying, yep, I know who my person is. So that's all I have for you today. I just want to say thank you so much being a part of the successes that we've had this year. Our scores are really good. Our revenues are really good, and I think we're going to finish strong. So thank you so much, and I'll be talking to you next time.